Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your match preview for Chelsea versus Brighton back at the Bridge. We've been away from home for the last couple of fixtures and thankfully we haven't, lost. We managed to win our last game, thankfully, and it looks like we're turning a corner. I'd like to think now Chelsea are beginning to turn that corner. Men are starting to come back. Things are starting to look a little normal again. Let's hope we keep on track. Now, before we get into one vital update that I have to give you, which isn't good news, and a couple of other bits and pieces, I want to let you know, make sure you check out my second channel, Younes Talks. I'm leaving a link right here to our latest video where I gave you guys a video reaction to the once absolute legendary, I don't have words for Maestro, let's say. I think Maestro is probably the best fit for this guy, Zinedine Zidane. There's a video that I watched over on my Twitch that I clipped up and put on my second channel for you guys, so make sure you check that out. Links are in the description. As I've said, link is right here to that video, and enjoy. More content coming there, including FIFA Chelsea Career Mode episodes 5 and 6, which will be dropping soon enough, as well as some other video reactions on the way, and I'm looking to explore other things too, so make sure you guys are following me there and on my Twitch. Head there now and enjoy. Now, let's get into this. Chelsea. There is bad news. There is bad news, I'm afraid. I do come bearing bad news today. Over Christmas, it was all nice and festive and joyous, and I've got good news for all of you. Yay! And now I'm afraid I've got very bad news. Ben Chilwell is out for the season officially. Obviously, it's on the Chelsea website. Chelsea released a statement illustrating exactly what happened and what has gone down. So they did try to get his rehab up and running. They did try to get him to go back onto grass and to get his whole rehab program underway and see if there's going to be any progress and any, any signs that the ACL will actually will begin to go away and begin to get better. And it looks like they hit some sort of roadblock. There was nothing happening in terms of rehab, so unfortunately he is going to require surgery. And now, because he's going to be having surgery later this week, it means he is out for the rest of the season. So Ben Chilwell, I can only say, look, best wishes to your recovery. Hope the surgery goes well. We'll see you next season, I'm afraid. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Why? Because those sort of injuries and those sort of surgeries, sometimes you don't make it back from. Sometimes you don't fulfill, who you should be as a player. Sometimes you don't get back to the level you once were. Even if you do recover, you start playing again, you start training, you start, being consistent, you never hit that level you once had. Sometimes it happens to some players. Now, for some players, they recover and they come back and it's all lovely jubbly. We've looked at the injuries like at Loftus-Cheek and Hudson-Odoi, for example. I'd like to think Ben Chilwell will be very similar because he is young. But you never know. You never know. It's always at risk. So we'll wait and see what happens. But now it's clear. January. Chelsea need to go and get a left wing back. It's as simple as that. We need to go and get ourselves, and not someone who's just going to fill in. I mean someone who's going to come in and become our left wing back. Or at least compete with when Ben Chilwell comes back and, keep the competition flying. But we need a top left wing back. Now, what the rumours going around is that we are going to be going in for Luca Dean from Everton on a loan up until the end of the season, perhaps. And they are interested in Ross Barkley. So there could be a little swap here in terms of loan deals. You give us Luca Dean, we'll give you Ross Barkley. And I think everyone will be happy with that. But if that were the case at the end of the season, summer, we need to go and get a left wing back. Or we just start now and try and get a left wing back now. The difficult thing is that January is a very hard window to get top targets in. So we'll wait and see. If it's very difficult, we can try and get Luca Dean on a loan. If it's not and we get someone, we get someone. Or if it's going to wait until the summer, we have to buy a proper wing back. It's as simple as that. So we'll see what happens. For this game, though, against Brighton, this is a must-win. Just as Romelu Lukaku said after the Aston Villa game, there is no hanging about now. Each game is a final. We are the hunters. We are the chasers, as Lukaku said, and I love it because that's the mentality we need. We need to be approaching every single game now like it's a final. We haven't got a choice. If we want to even think of competing with Man City and Liverpool with the form that they're on, and we play Man City and Liverpool in January, if we even want to think of being close, regardless of what the result there is, we need to be beating Brighton. Simple as that. If we don't, we're going to be back in that situation where I tell you guys, look, it's pretty much done. There's already a 6-point gap to Manchester City. Thankfully, we've managed to to catch up with Liverpool, although they do have a game in hand. So we'll see what happens there. But we have to beat Brighton. Each game is a cup final. And I'd like to think that we will. Brighton in their last game actually had a very, very good run out and a very, very good display. So fair play to Brighton and the little bit of form that they have at the moment. It's not going to be easy, but I think at the Bridge, with the men that we have available, we should be able to get a job done. Now, in terms of players, team news, who's available? I actually don't know who is properly unavailable. I can only judge it off our last game against Aston Villa and what Thomas Tuchel said immediately after that game. But there hasn't been any press conference for the Brighton game. We don't know the latest. No one does, except if you work for Chelsea Football Club. You might have an inside scoop. But what seems to be from that Aston Villa game is that Kante is going to be out and Chalobah is going to be out. That's what I read from it. There's a possibility they might not be out. There is a possibility, but I don't think they're going to play. So, putting that into context, I'd like to think that the team that I've put out here, that I'm going to show you in a moment, is what I think Thomas Tuchel's going to go with. And it is still quite strong. If I'm being real, it is still quite strong and enough to get a result against Brighton, especially at Stamford Bridge. So, without further ado, let's get into what I think Thomas Tuchel needs to start in terms of the starting 11. So, in goal, without question, Edouard Mendy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is going to be his last game before he heads out to the Afcon. I think, because the Afcon's going to be kicking off very soon. Players are already assembling and getting themselves ready to fly out to their national teams. That way they can go and take part in Cameroon, which should be starting, if I'm not mistaken, the 7th of January or the 11th of January. I'm not sure. I need to double check. But the squads have been announced. Everyone is ready. I know in terms of this round of fixtures in the Premier League, players will be sticking around, but then immediately after that, they'll be flying off. Unless if you're Mo Salah and the Egyptian FA allow you to stay at Liverpool to play against Chelsea and then join up with the squad. I mean, it just had to be in it. It just had to be. I don't think they're going to have Mane, because I don't think going to have Mendy. Unless if they stay around too and they get permission from the Senegalese FA. We'll wait and see. But Mendy, I think this will be his last one, so we'll wait and see. And then Kepa's going to step in. So for this, Mendy in goal. The back three, again, I'm taking into context here that I don't think Chalobah is going to be available. If not, I would be picking him. But I am going with Christensen at right centre-back, Silva where he normally is, and Rudiger at left centre-back. Some of you would probably be calling for Aspie. When Christensen came on for Chalobah the other night, it actually looked alright. And I think in terms of the good experience he has next to him in Thiago Silva, I think Christensen can be guided very well. And we trust Christensen. Danish Maldini. So I haven't got much of a problem with that. I think he'll play well there. So that would be my back three. In terms of the wing backs, we haven't got a choice. It's going to have to be, again, Marcos Alonso, Reece James. Some of you might actually be saying, no, Younes, play Pulisic. And you know what's crazy? Against Aston Villa, when Pulisic did get put in that right wing back role and Reece James got tucked into right centre-back, which actually helped, especially Reece James, because he was having a bit of a stinker. But when he went into right centre-back, he looked solid. Pulisic was actually offensively doing very well, I have to say, in terms of being able to take the ball, run with the ball, get in between players, cause a little bit of mayhem, constantly come central, and that was the one thing we were lacking. We were lacking some direction through the middle, man. Until Kante started doing it, Kovacic came on, started doing it, Pulisic at right wing back started doing it, and I like that. So in terms of that performance, Pulisic was cool, but let's have it right. He's not a wing back. So Reece James, Marcos Alonso, it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be. And Marcos Alonso needs to stop putting in absolute stinkers. He has to. This needs to end. Pablo Escobar, mate, give up the substances. Stop the herbal essences. Just go and play your football, please. I hope Marcos Alonso has a good game tomorrow. Fingers crossed. And if he doesn't, I'm going to start getting worried. And I beg we get someone in January. But in terms of midfield, I don't think Kante is going to be available. So hence why I've gone with the combination of Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic. Thankfully, these guys are back. Thankfully, we're getting men returning, as I've said. And, it helps us. So I still trust that combination. I still think there's enough there to cause havoc, both offensively and defensively. So I haven't got much of an issue with that if Kante is unavailable. And Kovacic is someone that just fits exactly what we need right now. Someone that's going to take the ball, drive, and cause some turbulence up front. Being able to create some actions, get the team going up front. So Kovacic in midfield fills me with confidence. Now, in terms of the front three, I've had to make a change here. And some of you will disagree with this. Some of you will agree with this. I just know for a fact. But it is what it is, and I respect your opinion. In terms of left wing forward, I was going to say left wing back. Hudson-Odoi, end product in terms of finishing has been atrocious. I just hope that he is able to sort that out, man. I mean, just put your head up. Think. Have that instinct. Take your time a little bit. Don't rush things. I think sometimes he gets in his own head and he just thinks, I've got to take the shot. I've got to take the shot. No, sometimes you just need to actually work out what you're going to do. And actually try and go with the plan. Just go with the plan that you originally had, and just don't try and change anything last minute, because I think it's very easy to get in your head. You, as someone who is going to finish, as someone that is going to try and score goals, you need to have an instinct. You need to have an instinct, and an instinct that is... Sometimes you're born with it. Sometimes you can train it. Sometimes, I just feel like Hudson-Odoi, sometimes he rushes things, and he does everything right except the shot. In his last game against Aston Villa, the assists we saw him provide were actually really good. And overall, as a performance, it wasn't a bad performance. It was just his end product. But the fact that he did provide the assist, the fact that his link up with Lukaku was actually quite decent, I feel like, it's enough to warrant a start against Brighton. It's enough. On the other hand, though, Mason Mount for me is dropped. I'm sorry. I'm dropping him. And I'm going to be playing Ziyech. Simple. Some would advocate for Pulisic. I just think on the right-hand side, it would be nice to go with Ziyech. And if Hudson-Odoi has a bad game or starts showing signs of any hesitancy, then bring on Pulisic and put him in his preferred position, which is on the left. That's where Pulisic likes to play as well. So that's why I'm going with Ziyech on that right-hand side. And I just think in terms of him cutting in on the left, cutting in with his left foot, I think will be of good help for Lukaku in order to meet him in the middle, because there's been many times where we don't meet Lukaku in the middle. Lukaku, if you notice against Aston Villa, started coming a little deeper. And the moment he started coming a little deeper, he was able to start getting those runs in. And when he did, it worked. So I just think maybe Ziyech would be a good combination with him. We'll wait and see, though. And up front, of course, there's no other flipping guy I'm going to put up front except the main man right now, Romelu Lukaku. For me, he is a starter. First name on the sheet. Maybe not the first. Or actually, maybe the first. Against Aston Villa, he had that impact. And I hope he keeps that going now. If he can score against Brighton, confidence is going to start building. So I beg, Lukaku needs to score against Brighton. Come on, if he does, I can sense a run beginning. So... come on. Big Rum. Do it. Do it, mate. Do it. But that, ladies and gentlemen, would be my starting 11. And in terms of a score prediction, I'm going to keep it easy, just like I did against Villa. I did say 2-0 against Aston Villa. It finished 3-1. On FIFA, it finished 3-2. If you watched that on my second channel, you'd know. But I am going with the same scoreline as I did last game against Villa. I'm going Chelsea 2, Brighton 0. I was over on Lee Gunner's channel earlier on, and he reckons that Brighton are going to score. It's a possibility. You know what Chelsea are like nowadays, and I don't really like it. I hate that we're being reactive and not proactive. I hate that we have to go 1-0 down, or something has to go wrong for us to come out of our shells and start playing the way we should be. I don't want that tomorrow. Tomorrow I want it from minute one, we play as we should be playing. We dominate as we should be dominating. We have confidence in our game as we should have, and we go and we try and kill the game early. Is what we need to do. The top teams are doing that. If we even want to think of trying to win the Premier League, we have to do that. There is no choice. There is no alternative. So look, from minute one tomorrow, I hope we are all guns blazing. But I'm going 2-0 tomorrow for Chelsea at home at the Bridge. Let's get 3 points, people. Before difficult January kicks in, where it's going to get tasty. Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham 3 times, twice in the cup, once in the league. I mean, thank God we're playing Chesterfield. At least we get a break. No disrespect to Chesterfield either, but we are going to be playing a second string team there. But that is your preview for Chelsea versus Brighton. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your score predictions, your lineups. Do you agree or disagree? Is there anything that you would change or you wouldn't? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the quest to 100k. We are getting there, people. Make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. As I've said, don't forget my second channel and my Twitch. Links are in the description. I will see all of you tomorrow for the watch along and the match review. I'll see all of you then. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.